Injector harness is made. This end right here is going to be going into the computer for plug A1, 3, 5, 7, and 15. The two wires right there. And then we move those two around for this plug. We went ahead and heat shrink the open exposed wires we cut. And so there's the plug right there for the injector harness. And you can kind of see, so those two yellow and two red wires right here. Those are for the injectors. We depinned and repinned those. We're gonna take that manifold and put it right here on the cylinder head. And we got a couple of things going on around down here. So I never lengthened my idle air control valve. That's there. I lengthened the TPS, and I also flipped the two wires around. Here is my IAT. That's almost basically left alone. I didn't move anything. I moved all the wiring from my shock tower to down here. Here's the hose from the DX manifold. I'm pretty sure that should work. Here's the other coolant hose that should be going into the idle air control or fast idle crap. Here's the map sensor that's on the top of the intake. And right here, we've got the OSI distributor plug. And here's my little adapter I made for it. That's to make it where I can unplug it. The rest of the wire goes down and into the firewall there in this giant hole I need to figure out. So we'll go ahead and put all this together, and we'll get back to you. Alright, so everything is assembled. We did have to get a different positive crank ventilation line, and we had to get the proper cooling hose that goes on the manifold here. And I did extend this one hose going to the idle air control valve. So far, everything else looks like it's bolted up fine. So we're going to try to do our first start. And I don't know if I have OBD-O or OBD-1 injectors, so we might be changing the resistor box. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Everything's hooked up, so hopefully it starts. So the code is code 19, which is for the auto lock out shit for the automatic trans, because I'm using an automatic ECU right now. You just check spark, it got spark, so I don't know if we're 180 out or what's going on. I got fuel because one of these injectors is bad. So go ahead, try to start it. Alright, so I figured out what the problem was. Some stupid funny shit real quick. I actually put A15 for the resistor box and A17, and yeah, that's why I wouldn't start. So now that it runs, we have a new problem, which is it's throwing code 4, which is your crank angle sensor. I'm not sure quite yet what that is. We'll probably figure that out, and it seems like it's a pretty common problem with these Mpfi swaps. Alright, so code 4, which is your crank angle sensor, there's two wires that run to that system or circuit on the ECU, and it's B10 and B12, which are the two wires that you took out of C1, C2. So what happened was my connector was damaged, and so what I came down here and did is I pinned a new wire in, and I twisted the original B10 around that wire, and that fixed the issue. So yeah, we'll go ahead and solder that shit up. That's pretty much it. If you guys end up getting stuck, if you have any problems, what I would do is I'd pretty much directly look at the circuit that you were working with that's throwing that code. So if you got code 4, which is your crank angle sensor, then you know you want to look at your crank angle sensor circuit, the ECU pinouts, at the distributor plugs,
everything else. And I've seen all over the internet forums that people have all kinds of different problems. Some people are getting code 9, some people are getting whatever other colors. You could easily mix up all this stuff if you don't label it. So just label everything. Make sure you have good connections. I tested for breaks in the wires from the distributor all the way back, and it was good. And that's when I decided to pull the ECU pin out. And I'll go ahead and show you a picture of what happened. It was spread apart, and so it wasn't making contact. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys.